this is Lisa from Life in Layouts, and I have another double page layout for you using page maps from June of 2019. So this is the double page sketch that I am going to be using, and I am pulling out my Secret Not Secret Kit Club kit from the kit that I used for the Love of Crafting and Sharing monthly kit last month, and I still had some leftover, so I thought, why not go ahead and make another layout. These photos are from the same day as the other photos, and it was Malachi on his little motorbike there. So I knew that I wanted to incorporate this rustic wood grain. What I decided to do was use it in the piece between the two photos on the right hand side, and I'm going to add my journaling to that as well. This sketch called for a lot of different layers, and I really like that because I was able to use just a bunch of different pieces from the kit, and I think that Christina did such an amazing job getting this kit together for me and mixing and matching patterns that I might not necessarily have put together myself, but I love the way that they turned out. So some of them I used border punches on, some of them I tore, and I really just wanted a layout full of texture, and I think that's what I got with this particular layout that I used. So I used a notebook punch, I used my ticket punch, I used my memory keepers, rougher up tool, I don't know what that thing's called, but the tool that roughs up the edges. And I was actually doing a online crop when I was working on this, and I was talking to the different ladies and things like that, and one of them gave me a challenge to use mixed media. And so you know that I am not a big fan of mixed media. I just don't use it a lot, and I don't tend to love the way that it turns out. What I decided to do was use this cut file, and on the left-hand side of the layout, I'm going to use it as a mask. So I pull out some of the colors in the orange and green and yellow and use the mask so that you can see that on the left-hand side. Then on the right-hand side of the layout, what I decided to do was put the paper down on the other side. So you can't see that I use it as a mask, and I just have this black piece on the right-hand side of the layout. And I really like how it mirrors both of those pieces. Now for this black paper here, I didn't know that I would get a lot of uses out of it, but I did go ahead and mount two of the photos on the black just so that I can get a little bit more texture and contrast with the black along with all the other colors in this particular layout. So I do go ahead and pull out my T-square ruler to make sure that that particular photo is straight, just because I have a lot of different curves and tilts to the papers that are on the layout. I did use my liquid glue. I use art glitter glue to put down really fine things, and that cut file was really delicate, so I went ahead and used the art glitter glue to make sure that that was down. Now the two photos that are on the center of the layout, I did adhere them in the center when I put them down because I knew that I was going to be tucking things in. And so you can see in the upper right hand corner there, I have my phone. I took a picture of my layout before I took it apart and started doing the mixed media and started adding the other pieces to the layout so that I could use that as a guide. So you'll see that phone in the top upper right hand corner. And this is just me going back and putting all of the different pieces back together. I definitely wanted to use this buffalo plaid in the red, again because he is in blue, so it's not the exact same color, but the pattern matches, and I really like the way that that turns out. Sometimes I like to do things in a difficult fashion, so after I put that dark wood grain down, that's when I decided to pull out the memory maker's tool and use that to tear up the edges. After I get that down and I actually tear up a couple of other pieces, I was able to pull up a few of the pieces because they were kind of the top layer on the pieces that I wanted to use to rough up the edges. I did pull out this sticker that has some axes on it, and I really like the separation that it gives between that buffalo check pattern and the wood grain. And so I went ahead and put it down and then just used my X-Acto knife to trim it down just a little bit. And then I definitely wanted to use the channel, the flannel. I think that that is an awesome sticker. I love the fact that it's a heart. And then, you know, he's wearing flannel in the pictures as well. So I think that it works out very well. This sketch also calls for a couple of tags to be tucked in a couple places, and I am using my tag punch that I got from Hobby Lobby, and it cuts 3 different size tags. So you can see over on the left hand side I cut a tag in that white wood grain, and then over there on the right hand side I went ahead and used that black paper to cut a frame there as well. I did go ahead and pull up that label just because I wanted a little bit more contrast than what was there, so I pulled out this like black and white checkered. And then in my kit as well, there was this burlap ribbon, and so I used that on the tags, and I felt like I needed one more piece, so I went ahead and put it in the cut file as well. I do use the glue dots. You can see those up in the upper right hand corner. Those are small glue dots, and I use them anytime I'm using ribbon to make sure that I can keep the ribbon exactly where I want it to be. Now with my other leaf that was also in a burlap, I went ahead and put that over the right hand side, and you could see some of the liquid glue through the piece, but once it dries, it does dry clear, so you can't even see any of the liquid glue there. I did go ahead and add a mountain piece and a ticket that says admit one, just because I wanted to add a few more orange pieces, just like I did last time. There wasn't a whole lot of orange in the kit. I felt like just adding a few pieces really popped against all of those like dark colors, the black, the navy, the like white wood grain. Even though that is a whitewash, it's still like a dark color because it has that dark wood in it. And then I'm just adding a couple more stickers from the sticker sheet that I got. And so some of the stickers say, love my guy, and some of them are just heart shapes and things like that. Now this alpha sticker that is from Hobby Lobby, I got them on clearance, and they sometimes peel up from the backing, so you can see there where the eye pulled up. So I just went ahead and used my stapler, my Tim Holtz tiny attacher, and I just put a staple on the I and on the E, so it just looks like it was meant to be. That way I could adhere that down and then not have to worry about it coming up or having liquid glue show. So, you know, in true Lisa fashion, I messed up my title again. And so the title is supposed to say ride like you stole it, and I didn't even notice it until I went to go do this voiceover that I had it wrong. So here is my final layout as well as some close-ups. I will leave a link below to the Secret Not Secret Kit Club. If you want Christina to put a kit together for you, I highly recommend it. It's an amazing thing that she did. These pictures have been sitting in my stash for a while, and I wasn't sure what to use with them, and I think she did an amazing job putting this kit together for me. If you enjoyed this video, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already and you want to see more double page layout inspiration, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope that you have a scrappy day.